Hi folks, this is your MWIS Planning Outlook with the details through this week and beyond. One of the most noticeable parts of the forecast in the week ahead will be the milder temperatures above freezing point to the highest summits throughout. Wind speeds will vary, there will be some quite gusty easterly winds in there at times, and weather conditions too will vary somewhat, but a good deal of dry weather in the outlook. The general weather story over the week ahead is quite complicated really. This is the pressure pattern averaged over 7 days through to next Monday the 6th. And we've got low pressure that's circulating slowly, centred toward the southwest of the British Isles. High pressure is away toward the northeast around Scandinavia. That's helping to draw in a milder air mass from the Mediterranean coming towards us on southeast or easterly winds through this time. It's a pattern that does allow weather systems to really get in a tangle and rotate almost back upon themselves really. So we've got some frontal systems arriving across the southern portions of Britain that almost look as though they are somewhat upside down by the time they've done a complete circuit around central parts of Europe. You'll see how that story develops on the pressure charts through midweek. This is Tuesday's situation with low pressure centred over Ireland, rotating a frontal system in from the southwest. Some patchy areas of rain towards southwestern parts of the Highlands, most frequent near to the coasts. The odd heavier burst mixed in at times. A bit of patchy rain getting as far north as Skye, but further north and east across the Highlands a mostly dry story with some hazy sunshine. Lowest cloud on the hills around those southwestern coasts. Some rain moving into West Wales as well, fairly heavy and persistent, that encroaching gradually eastwards during the daytime. Some patchy rain into the south and west of Cumbria as well, but across the Pennines largely dry with some hazy sunshine. Some gusty southeasterly winds up to gale force at times across north and west Wales and southwestern parts of the Highlands, generally strengthening across the Highlands during the day. Now that front that's across western regions is fading out as we get into Wednesday. Not too much left on it, a zone of variable cloud and a few spits and spots of rain, an odd shower perhaps just developing during the daytime, but a good deal of dry and bright weather across western parts. A fair amount of low cloud though across eastern areas, especially in the morning, and that could be shrouding some hills to quite low elevations with banks of cloud all over the place on some of the hill slopes. That could get stuck across the eastern parts of the Highlands and some more northeastern parts of the Pennines and the borders as well. So low cloud here could be persistent during the day. And just as a warm front is moving in from the North Sea as well, just the risk of some rain developing in that as well. Warmest temperatures out toward the west during the day and a fairly light east to southeasterly wind. Just got to watch how much of any rain does start to develop from the east on that warm front. The focus of heavier rain looks to be moving from France towards southwest England and Wales, possibly into Wednesday evening and night. Now I said the weather systems would start to look a little bit upside down. This is a warm front then that's rotating all the way around from Central Europe and back westwards into the Atlantic, and that's drawing the mild air then in towards us from the east on a very strong and gusty easterly wind, particularly around Pennine areas, the Lake District, southern central parts of Scotland, blustery across most of the Highlands, it must be said, throughout Thursday. Greatest risk of rain is across Wales, particularly mid and south Wales. Areas of low cloud could affect more eastern hills of England and Scotland. Further west, generally dry and bright. Mild temperatures, but will feel cooler still, or exposed to that gusty wind. That frontal zone is expected to stay slow moving across more central and southern parts of Britain on Friday. We've got that easterly wind continuing for Scotland and northern parts of England. Not quite as strong as on Thursday, but still rather blustery in places. Greatest risk of rain then is for Wales and southern parts of the Pennines. Some low cloud, drizzly, damp conditions possible in more eastern parts through the borders into the eastern side of the Highlands. But further west, generally dry and bright with good cloud breaks across most of the mountains. Temperatures then on the mild side still with that warmer air mass wafting around from the east. Now these slowly rotating weather patterns are not too uncommon in the springtime, as weather regimes are often quite sluggish at this time of year, but they're notoriously difficult to pin down exactly what they're going to do once you go about 4 or 5 days down the line. So the weekend, the bank holiday weekend forecast is open to huge amounts of question at this stage. Still dregs of some old fronts in the mix, so the risk of some areas of rain, a fairly mild or warm and quite humid atmosphere atmosphere is possibly the recipe for triggering some showers into the afternoons, with pressure still being fairly low. So a bit of a mixture. Some places getting away with a good deal of dry and bright weather, always just that risk of some patchy rain or showers. And the wind's generally looking light, but I'd be treating any forecast modelling or anything that you might see on forecast apps with a great degree of caution at this stage. A lot will hinge on whether any further pulses of energy get drawn in from the mid-Atlantic in the longer range. If they do, that pattern could remain rather unsettled. If those don't engage with our existing weather pattern, then pressure could just build and the previous remnants of weather systems slowly fade and things improve for some drier weather, but I'd be very cautious of promising anything like a week of sustained dry weather at this stage. I think that more mixed and showery type of pattern is never too far away into early May. Keep a close eye on the forecast then, all your local details every day on our website, and next video for you on Thursday. Thanks for watching today. Bye for now.